Day Today is back. It's Good Friday, and today we're going to look at a passage in Luke chapter 23, verses 32 through 47. Specifically, we are going to look at what Jesus is saying while he's on the cross, his actual words. Now, when you look at that passage, read through it a couple times, 1, 2, 3 times, highlight it, underline it, whatever you do, but take note of what Jesus is saying. Take note of how he's saying it. Take note of the circumstances surrounding what he's saying. It should tell you a couple different things. You should see faithfulness. You should see hope. I'm excited. Let's jump into it. So you've gone through it, you've read through it a couple times, and it's brought us to his first words on the cross. Jesus says in Luke 23, verse 34, "Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing." This is Jesus carrying out his mission. He is faithful. Faithful in the midst of the most heinous and crazy things that have happened to him in the hours leading up to this. These people that have beaten Jesus, they've punched him, they've probably kicked him. He's been whipped with whips that just rip out his flesh. He's been spit on. He's naked. He's been nailed to a cross. They've taken his clothes and they've divided them up. They're making money on his clothing. He has a crown of thorns jammed on his head. They've insulted him with the plaque that says, "Here's Jesus, King of the Jews." And what is Jesus' response to them? He says, "God, forgive them." He's not offering them forgiveness, but he's saying to God, "God, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." Jesus is showing love. He is showing faithfulness. During the midst of all this, he is crucified between two real criminals, right? And they get in this dialogue about, if you're Jesus, if you're really who you say you are, take yourself off the cross, call down the angels from heaven, all these different things. And the one guy says, "Hey, when you go to heaven today, just remember me. Just remember me, please." And Jesus, in the midst of everything that's going on, him being Jesus, who's faithful, still completing the mission that God has sent him out on, says this, "I tell you the truth, today you're going to be with me in paradise." With what is probably just a few minutes left or a few moments left to live in his life, Jesus says, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." He knows the end is coming. He feels it. His breathing is difficult. He can't push himself up anymore on the cross to get that precious life-giving breath that he needs. He is beaten. He is hurt. He's been rejected. And the time is coming. It reminds me of Hebrews 9, verse 14. And that passage says that he offered himself up unblemished to God. And it brings us all back to the beginning when I said, look through the passage and think about what he's saying and how it relates to him being faithful. He is faithful. He is faithful. His love is faithful. His kindness is faithful. His grace is faithful. I love rap, and there's a Christian rap artist. There's a few of them actually that are really good, and one of them is Shai Linne. And he talks about grace. And what is grace? And it's God's riches at Christ's expense. The more and more I learn about grace, the more and more I realize that I don't deserve it. And the more I understand grace, the more I realize and I know, not only do I not deserve it, man, it's so precious to me. And that's why Good Friday is so good. It brings us hope. We can stop and we can look at Good Friday and we can celebrate Good Friday and we look forward to Easter because it brings us hope. It brings us hope of renewal. It brings us hope of being washed clean and perfectly white as snow. And it's God's grace being poured out on us. And Good Friday is good because of that. So go ahead and read it one more time. Read it one more time and enjoy everything that it says about God's faithfulness through his Son, Jesus Christ, and the work done on the cross, and enjoy the grace that we have received, and look forward to Easter, the resurrection.